From Studio New York Post in Midtown Manhattan, I'm Mark Hale. This weekend, the Yankees and Red Sox are going to battle for the first time this season, resuming baseball's greatest rivalry up in Fenway Park. To talk about it, we're going to bring in our Yankee beat writer, George King. George, this weekend will mark the first time Bobby Valentine is a part of this series. You covered a lot of the times that Bobby managed against the Yankees when he was with the Mets in the Subway Series in the late 90s and the early 2000s. What do you expect from Bobby in this rivalry?
Well, you expect him to be prepared. You expect him to use his baseball intelligence, which is very high. But what you might also expect is between now and the first pitch on Friday, for Bobby to somehow nudge the Yankees, and I don't know that for sure, but his history is that, he wants to take every advantage. And plus, I think if he comes out and nudges the Yankee in some way, it takes the focus off of what's happened this week up there. I don't know what he would do to nudge the Yankees. He might go after their pitching. He might go after their payroll. Bobby is, he's all over the map at times with his motivational ploys, and as we saw this week with Euclid. But I sense that he'll do something to change the tide up there this week.
George, the perception with the Red Sox seems to be that this year they're not as strong as they have been in past seasons. Obviously, they collapsed late last year. They're not off to the best start this season. The perception is that this is a weakened Red Sox team. How do you view the Red Sox in 2012?
Well, I mean, going through the season, they were playing without Crawford, and I know he didn't play very well or as well as people expected him last year. That's a huge miss. Their pitching, it's questionable. I mean, they're making Barter a reliever, an eighth-inning reliever. He's now a starter. Lester, I mean, when you look up last night and they scored 18 runs in the game Lester started, you got to wonder how good the pitching's going to be. Beckett, Matsuzaka's not going to be around for a while. Buchholz is still a question mark after missing so much. I think people look at the pitching and think, well, what do we have? What do they have there? And then label them a question mark. Euclid's second half last year was not good. He's an older player. They're playing with a shortstop with stopgap people. But, don't underestimate Pedroia, Gonzalez. Ellsbury's out now. And don't estimate David Ortiz is off to a very good start. I mean, there's still talent there. I just don't know how good the pitching is, and I think that's where the question marks become.
We're talking with George King, our Yankee beat writer, as we preview Yankees-Red Sox for the first time in 2012. George, the Yankee rotation for this weekend, Ivan Nova, Freddie Garcia, CC Sabathia, all three of those guys really struggled against the Red Sox last season when they played. How big of a concern is the Yankee rotation for this weekend in Fenway?
Every Yankee pitcher that pitched against the Red Sox in the first half last year struggled.
Yeah.
Listen, after Sabathia, because if they have to worry about Sabathia, then they're really in big trouble. Every pitcher after Sabathia, and I don't care if it's the Red Sox or the Kansas City Royals or the Oakland A's, every other starter has got question marks attached to him. Even Nova, who's 2-0, has not pitched great. Kuroda's pitched one good, one bad. He's not pitching in the series. Hughes is about 2 weeks away from really being a candidate to be in the bullpen once Pettit comes back. Maybe not 2 weeks, 3 weeks, middle of May. And, Freddie Garcia is right there with him. They're running neck and neck to see who goes to the bullpen. I believe it'll be used because he has experience there and has done well there. But I don't think it matters that it's the Red Sox. I think there's question marks 2 through 5.
George, you mentioned Pettit. Let's talk about him real quick because he's going to make his third rehab start this weekend in the minor leagues. He's due to come back after probably 6 rehab starts. How is he coming along?
From every indication, I have not seen him since we left spring training, but every indication you get from the people who are watching him is that he is throwing well and that his body is holding up. Having said all that, he's 39, and now the workload increases. Now the bounce back in between starts, you wonder how he's going to do that. Everybody wants to talk about Andy Pettit as a lock to be here, and it's progressing in the right way without any kind of detours, but he's still 39. He didn't pitch last year. The last time he did pitch, he was bothered by groin and back problems. I think it's a real stretch to say he's going to be A, part of this rotation, and B, a big-time winner in this rotation based on the information that we've had so far. Now, if he gets here and he's healthy, he knows how to pitch. I'm sure he'll be effective, but people are starting to read into a little bit too much for a 39-year-old guy who hasn't pitched since 2010.
All right, Pettit's rehab is going to continue this weekend, and the Yankees and Red Sox are going to kick off their season series tonight in Fenway Park. George will be there. You can read all of his coverage and all of the post coverage on nypost.com, and obviously we'll have a lot more from George all season long on nypost.com as well. For George, I'm Mark. Thanks for watching.